Bob, recently you acquired the assets, I believe, of U-Mobile.
We will acquire because we're still subject to regulatory approval.
There was a bit of confusion I noticed when that deal was announced, particularly across social media. Do you just want to tell us exactly what you're buying in that U-Mobile transaction? I think the people and the subscribers. Did you take? You didn't take the subscribers?
Yeah. So the motivation for us was not to see. The first problem was going to be the staff, and the staff is a problem because if U-Mobile was allowed to fail, those people would be jobless.
Yes.
And so that was a concern for Madhur, the CEO for U-Mobile. It was a big concern of his. And when he called me, he said, look, we clearly can't continue to invest in this business for one reason or another. And so a three-way discussion started between me, Madhur, and Manoj Kohli, who was responsible for Airtel's telecom business at the time. And we said, it would be wrong for us to allow this thing to fail. There's some assets that we need.
Yes.
So spectrum is something that we need. We talked about the congestion in the network at the moment. So spectrum we need. And
so this spectrum is as deployable as extra capacity for you, is it?
Yeah. So you can do one of two things in order to build capacity. You can build more towers.
Yes.
And that's tricky. It's very difficult to get sites to build towers. It's not the cost of the towers. We've got a lot of money to do that. But it can take 8 months sometimes just to get permission to put up a tower. And that's a long time. You've got customers who are suffering. So so you either build more towers or you build more spectrum. So ideally, you get a mix of the two. And so he has spectrum in the 900 megahertz. He talked about that, reaching much further. And he's got spectrum in the 1800 megahertz, which we can also use. Then there were the towers. Now, of the 400 or so towers, they're not all useful to me.
Yes.
I think there's probably about 200 which we can use.
You're taking over the towers?
We're taking all of the towers.
Yes.
And we're taking all of the buildings.
Yes.
And they've got a data center, for example, which will be useful to us. But also critically is we provide employment for about 150 of the staff.
Yes.
Which leaves them, I think, about 40 or so. I think Airtel are taking a few as well, not that many. But at least it provides some security to those people. And there is a shortage of resources
in your space.
Yeah, particularly in the technology space. And so that's very useful to us. We look forward, once the transaction goes through, we look forward.
When do you expect that? When do you expect to be welcoming them?
I think the Communication Authority gazetted it last week, Friday, I think, and it takes 30 days when they invite comment. And I think soon thereafter, we should be heading towards closure. We also need approval from the Competition Authority as well. And what Airtel then takes is Airtel takes the license, because their license runs out in the next few months.
So they're going to operate under that license?
So they will operate under the U-Mobile license, and they take the customers.
Yes.
So they will take about 2.5 million customers. And the other reason for that is because if you wait for Airtel to build their own critical mass, you kind of need, honestly, 25% market share before you've got a critical mass that makes sense.
In this market?
In any telecoms market. You would be fooled to be buying a company that's only got 10% market share, because it's going to be an uphill struggle.
Yes.
I mean, people keep going on about the dominance of Safaricom. It's not because Safaricom does anything wrong or indeed particularly right. It's just that the others are too small to make sense.
That's interesting.
And so it then increases their market share, hopefully to around 25%.
Right.
And then it's then a competitor that's much more robust, if you like. So that's how the thing is split.
And there are a lot of rumours about Telkom Kenya as well. They're on the on a go shop list, are they at the moment? That was
I believe they are.
They are.
And I probably don't have any more information than you do, but they've made it very clear that they are looking for buyers. And I think there are lots of rumours about different consortiums and stuff that's looked at this.
But you think something will happen in the future?
I think France Telecom have said that they would like to exit.
Okay.
And it's not been a great relationship between the shareholders there.
No, I gathered that.